Hello, this is Mike from Dimensional Walking, and today I'm going to do another video, and we're going to do this video on some of the field research I had done with some of my colleagues when we lived in New Mexico. We lived just outside of Albuquerque, and one of the places that had some really interesting stuff was Sandia Mountain. Okay, and on the top of Sandia Mountain, for people that are not familiar with the area, there is a ski resort. Okay, go figure, right? New Mexico, hot, but up at the ski mountain, which is over 10,000 feet, um, at the very top, there's a really cool restaurant up there, by the way. And then right behind the restaurant, there's the ski, ski lift basically. And so what we found out as years went by living there, and I guess I lived there about, I guess it was about 11 or 12 years, um, that there were some really interesting creatures and things up there on that mountain, very close to the restaurant and very close to the ski lift. So, to give you a little bearing, if you go behind, the restaurant is at the very top, right behind it again is the ski lift, okay? And then if you would go, there's some paths that go off to the left, okay, if you're facing the restaurant, off to the left. And you go down those paths, and there's all kinds of really cool stuff. It's a beautiful, it's got like a little meadow. It's got, tremendous trees, forest type trees up there at the top. And then there's kind of rock outcrops there and little places you can climb, and it's really a very cool area. Anyways, if you go along this path here, I did a lot of, by the way, I did a lot of vortex photography up there, and I've gotten pictures. You can go to Truth Seeker Forum, and you can put in there vortex photography or photography, and you should get some of these pictures of all kinds of different creatures. Okay, fairies, uh, wee people, um, just all kinds of stuff. A little bit down the other side of that mountain. We also got some an encounter with a dogman, in which we've talked about extensively in the past. So that whole side of that mountain is just loaded with stuff going on. So if you're ever in the area, you want to go take the tram up to the top of the mountain, you want to do a little bit of exploring, just go to the left, go down a couple paths, and you may see some really interesting stuff. But anyway, so let me tell you about a couple times. We've gone up there many times, but I'm just going to tell you about a couple. And we're doing a little bit more of extensive research, and we're trying to focus on Sasquatch. Okay, so anyways, we go down these paths, and so what we did is we went to two different locations. The first location, we basically hung. We know for a fact that Sasquatch like apples. Sasquatch like Bigfoot Sasquatch like berries, and they also like chocolate bars. Okay, dark 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 chocolate. Okay, I'll get it out. So anyways, so those are the three things typically we'd use to kind of do our research and get them interested or attracted to a particular area and see what we could find out. So anyways, one of the things though, unfortunately up there, it's a pretty dry area. I mean, there's grass growing, there's trees growing, of course, but it isn't like it gets a lot of rain. So you really can't find any footprints from a Bigfoot or, okay? You really don't. So that kind of eliminates one of the possibilities. But what we thought we could do is we could go up there, we could try to attract them with food and see how they reacted to the way the food was laid out, how they took the food, etc. The same thing we've done out here in Oregon. Okay, and we've had some interesting successes out here also. So anyway, so the first place we went to um, was interesting because we decided we're going to go ahead and we're going to hang a bag of food uh, in a tree, in off some branches of a particular tree. And so we did this and we knew that we had to hang it up high because there was deer up there. There was other little creatures that could get them. But we knew that if we hung it, that it was going to be unlikely, at least 15 feet up. This one was, I think, between 12 and 15 feet. I don't remember. We did measure it, and I think I have to go back in my notes to tell you exactly what it was, but I think it was between 12 and 15 feet. So we hung it there. It was a plastic bag, and we had apples in there. We had a couple apples probably, and we had some blackberries, everything organic, of course, and a small chocolate bar that we usually put in a plastic bag, and we seal it. Okay. And so we hung it out there, and we came back the next day. Okay. And so let me look at my notes again. So we found the white garbage bag on the ground, torn open. The apples were gone, and basically so was the other content. So we walked about 150 feet to the east, the location where we had hung the bag, and basically it just what didn't we walked and we found the bag. We did find the bag, and it was busted open, and everything was gone, of course. So what was the interesting thing in this particular thing was the fact that it was broken in the bottom. The top was still tied together. Okay, now it was high in the tree, so we eliminated a lot. We eliminated probably all the creatures. So it was two things we came to the conclusion. The conclusion was it was either a Sasquatch, because there have been Sasquatches up there 8 to 10 foot tall that have been seen, or a human that somehow got a stick or something and yanked it down and took the stuff out, and probably just to mess with us. I don't know. We're very careful when we go into an area to make absolutely sure there's no humans around that can observe us and see that we're doing something that looks weird, and they want to go over and investigate it and try to muck with us. So we're very careful, and in this particular case we were. So, but anyways, so I guess one of the things that we concluded was that something very tall basically had, again, grabbed the bag and did something with it, threw it down. Again, I have to tell you though, a couple of things. We do eliminate any of the big cats, because there was mountain lions up there, and there's also raccoons up there. And my understanding is they do not like apples. Now, I'm not too sure about the berries. I think they do like berries. I don't think they like chocolate. That was my understanding. Of course, another thing we kind of have to keep in mind, maybe there was a rainstorm. I don't think there was, because maybe something pulled the bag off of the tree and threw it down, and somehow then small creatures got it. I don't think that's the case, but it's very possible. Again, the bag was tight on the top. It was not like somebody opened it up. It was ripped from the bottom. Okay, so it looks like somebody had to grab it from the bottom. But I have to tell you, this first particular site and what we found, I think even though we had it tied up high, I think it was inconclusive. I don't think I want to say that it was a Sasquatch. I don't want to say it was a human. I don't think it was any animals, okay, in this particular case, unless something like a storm pulled it off of the tree and landed on the ground, okay? But anyways, that was our conclusion there, inconclusive, okay? And that's the same thing that when I talked to my friend Kiwani Lapsaritis, who I believe is an expert at Sasquatch, he said the same thing. He said it was some interesting facts, that it was up in a tree and you had secured it properly to the tree, and that you found it on the ground many feet away and ripped up. So anyways, okay, so site, there's a second site we went to. In this one, we tried a little something different. So there was a small ridge area where we hung this bag again, and it had some food bars in it, had some apples, and it was this ridge that dropped about 25 feet. So what we thought we'd do on this one, a little different, we'd hang this bag and securely hung it down so no animals or anything can get it. We hung it on a string, and the string we attached, and we actually put it under a rock. And then the rock, over the rock, we constructed this little, I guess it looked, of course, sort of like a pyramid with sticks. It made it quite unique in the way it was made, okay? So picture this, we got this big rock, we put this, a little bit of, it's kind of a very strong, it's a thin rope, but it's very strong. The bag is hanging over the ledge, okay, down, it's hanging down, so nothing from the top can get it because it's shit, it's probably, I guess 15, 20 feet. It would have to be, something really unusual. You could come up on this ledge or come up and grab it from the bottom. And we did that purposely. So anyways, so we did photography, exactly how the sticks looked, how the rock looked, how everything looked, okay? We did just completely pictured it to death, okay, from all different angles. So anyways, so we wanted to do this so we could eliminate small animals and we could possibly eliminate humans, okay? So anyways, bottom line was, so we came back. I think this was maybe in a day or two. It may have been 2 days actually. And what was so very interesting about this is that the bag was down. The contents again were gone. The bag was down at the bottom of the ledge at the bottom. The string was still hanging there, okay? But here was a really interesting thing. This is the reason that I believe this was a Sasquatch. Was the simple fact that in order to get the string, actually, let me tell you this, back up. The string was gone too. The string was gone, the string and everything was down, the food was gone, the string and the bag were at the bottom of the area, okay? But here was the interesting thing. The only way an animal, the way we did this, the only way anything, an animal or human or anything, would have been able to get this, they would have had to take these sticks, completely disassemble the sticks, okay? And he would have had to lift the rock up, okay, to get the string, to get the rope out, so it would drop all the way to the bottom. There was no other way this could be done. We did it specifically. We were very, very careful to do it this way, okay? And what we found out was the most interesting thing of all. The rock was put back in the same place, okay? The sticks were exactly assembled the same exact way they were, to complete detail, okay? And that the conclusion was, and this Kiwani agrees 100%, that Sasquatch is really noted for its ability to look at detail and duplicate things exactly the way it was. And why they do this exactly, nobody seems to know. I don't know, Kiwani doesn't know, but they're really good at it. If it was a human, or it was another type of small animal, or a big animal, there's no way they would put those sticks back the way they were, or put the little rope around the rock. And the rock was a big enough rock. I mean, a Sasquatch can move it, a human can move it, right? But an animal couldn't at all. And a deer obviously couldn't. A bear probably wouldn't. He would just trash everything. And so would a raccoon. So anyways, whatever this was, lifted the rock up, took the string out. I don't even know. They could have pulled the string up. They could have looked at it, whatever. Put threw the bag and the string and everything overboard, and basically left the area completely the way we had originally put it. So our conclusion there was a high probability, okay, we're not 100% sure, a high probability that it was some creature like Sasquatch, or maybe even Dogman, I don't know, but I think more Sasquatch uh, or or it could have been a human, but you know, humans really do not look at detail that well in order to hoax us, okay, into believing that. So, anyways, I guess with all that said, um, if you're up in the Albuquerque area, you want to see some interesting country, go up to that wonderful restaurant up there. It's got a beautiful view of the tremendous valley to the west of Albuquerque. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful tram ride. And then explore the area behind there. And you'll see what I mean. It's a pretty incredible area. And be aware of your surroundings. I'm going to tell you, there's stuff up there, and it's really cool. It really, really is. So, anyways, if I find some more notes, I'll let you know. But you can see some of the creatures that we took pictures of at True Seeker Forum. Just put in there in the search, put either vortex photography or just photography. I think it comes out with both. Okay? Thanks a lot. We'll see you. Bye-bye.